Ballora, as you know, is one of your favorite animatronics. She seems to have been built to be a surrogate mother to Afton's children before their deaths, and hopefully just meant to be a mother and not a, life companion. And while she may not be possessed, she certainly is popular. But what facts did I miss last time? That's what we're exploring today. Let's do it. And 10 technical difficulties. Proving just how terrifying she can be in Ultimate Custom Night and during Sister Location's Custom Night, Ballora, when she appears, will mess with your cameras. She approaches from either one of the two halls, but when she does, your cameras will be disabled. Apparently, Ballora is some kind of tech whiz, or emits some form of frequency jumbling or some other waves of some kind. I don't know, maybe she's like a 5G tower. It ends up interfering with your cameras, kind of like Vanny in Security Breach. The only time you'll end up seeing her in Custom Night is when it's too late and she's already jump scared you, which is just a total move, honestly. But you know what? It's kind of a spicy one as well, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you won't know where she is until she comes at you. Get your mind out of the gutter. And at 9, hey, look, listen. The key to avoiding Ballora's jump scare in Ultimate Custom Night, though, is attentive listening, just like a real woman. This is what you're gonna hear in your headphones, okay? This is FNAF. Sound cues galore. So I'm assuming that you'll be wearing headphones. I mean, I usually don't, which is probably why I keep failing, but oh well. You'll hear Ballora's music, but you won't be able to see her. You'll want to close the door on the side that you hear the music coming from before she can attack. So yeah, wear headphones. If you succeed, the only way you'll know is by another sound cue, a thud meant to signify her leaving. And obviously, if you fail, you'll know, because you'll have a 7-foot tall surrogate mother in your face. And the whole listening to Ballora thing also comes from her game in Sister Location during Night 2. In that minigame, Baby tells the player to move slowly in the Ballora gallery. However, the player is allowed to run as long as they stop moving when Ballora's music gets louder, hence the whole listening to the music thing. Continuing this process will eventually get you to the break room on. And at 8, Electroshock. In Sister Location, you are of course forced into shocking Ballora to get her to perform and make sure that she's in operating order so that she can once again entertain the children of the next day. If you've seen part 1 of this list or have played Sister Location, you know what I'm talking about. Something, however, that we have yet to mention is what happens on Night 2 when you shock Ballora. That's right, she likes being shocked. She's kind of freaky like that. However, only Ballora's shadowy silhouette can actually be seen when you illuminate her stage, and then you're forced to shock her in order to motivate her into performing. Oh god. However, when you do so, all you're gonna hear is garbled, creepy, demonic voices which are emanating from the malfunctioning hand unit. Initially, it doesn't really sound like anything, it just sounds like garbled gibberish. But one Redditor, for some reason, plugged the audio into an audio recording program, probably Audacity, to see if they could actually make sense of it. And you know what? They did. Upon increasing the speed, they uncovered some actual words being said. To them, they said it sounded like argumentative, standards, elevation, passive, heights. Whatever that means. No idea what it means in with a bigger picture, or if it's just a random set of words that Scott decided to throw in our faces, but you know what? It's FNAF, it's always gonna be a mystery. And at 7, family ties. A theory that some have is that Circus Baby is actually supposed to be the younger sister to Ballora, implying that the two are made in relation to each other somehow, perhaps both being created to be circus, because they're both humans, right? Or they're humanoid. I don't know. Another theory is that Elizabeth herself had an older sister who we hadn't actually met in the series, but who also died, whose soul was trapped and stored in Ballora somehow, preserving the other young girl. She possibly even died after Elizabeth did, but again, no. That's not a thing. And at 6, Ballora's stage. One of the creepiest parts of the introduction to the Sister Location game mechanics is actually examining the stages. The first stage you're actually forced to illuminate is Ballora's, and the fact that her light and the other stage lights are they're not always on. It's weird, okay? It makes it more unsettling. You don't know what's out there. It's like when you turn off the lights when you're leaving the basement and you run up the stairs because you can't see anything. That's what's going on. The anxiety that you feel building the first time you turn that light on, and then the crazy thing is how muddy the lighting is, or the thickness of the window seems to make the stage still appear as though if it were being viewed through a vignette. I don't know what it means when the black is around your screen, you know, in that circle. Even when Ballora and her mini arenas appear after you've administered the shock, it's disturbing. Either way. How about doing at number 5, dancing? Last time we talked about how talented of a singer that Ballora was, but of course, being modeled after a ballerina, she is also known for being a dancer. She often glides and spins around her stage. She's meant to encourage children to get active and enjoy pizza, but obviously that didn't work because they had to do Mazercise and Security Breach. Maybe you could have joined join Ballora for like a dance-themed birthday party, you know? Maybe Ballora could bust out some moves, do some little head twirls, you know? Get the freaky fresh in the hood. Yo. Though I'm not sure if that's possible. I mean, maybe she was rented out, okay? Maybe she would somehow manage to dance, as maybe she has specific requirements or something when it comes to performing. I mean, she's supposed to be on that track, right? She crawls on all fours, I don't know. At least if you could rent her out. Considering her requirements, I'm pretty sure that you could, since she's meant to capture kids, and like renting them out would be the best method for gathering them in bulk, I guess. But considering how they were all stowed away underground, I'm not sure if they would intentionally be rented out after the capture of Elizabeth. And at 4, travel by tracks. One of the specific requirements that I was referring to is, of course, that she actually needs to have tracks. Ballora glides around on, like, I guess what is easily described as train tracks in her studio, which she somehow also manages to spin on, but that's a whole other problem, okay? It's just like the doors, I don't want to talk about it. Without her tracks, Ballora can't even actually stand on her own, and she crawls on all fours, very disturbingly, might I add. I'm not sure how exactly she would perform if she was being rented out, like Chica was for Sister Location, though fortunately, or unfortunately, her super creepy mini-arenas don't actually need tracks in order to do literally anything. So, yay! Hopefully those tracks pull her away from me just after we kiss, though, so she doesn't claw my face off. Yes, I just said that. Chica, I'm sorry. Getting close to the end, and in number 3, room for one more. Okay, so this isn't directly related to Ballora, but I'm not sure if the mini-arenas will get their own list at some point, and they're affiliated with her, so I figured that it would make sense to include the story here. Plus, it's my list. I can do what I want. Do you want the mini-arenas to have their own list? Like, do you think that they deserve one? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if we actually have enough for any form of top 10. I don't think there's enough different versions of mini-arenas, but I mean, like, they're definitely creepy. So I feel like they could potentially be worthy of having their own, but I don't really want to do that, and I'm the only one who does videos here, so if I don't want to do it, it's not gonna happen. Either way, the story titled Room for One More from the Fazbear Frights book of 1:35 a.m. is actually featuring Ballora's little mini-arenas, and it's hella weird. In it, a security guard named Stanley spots them while working at his desk. Later on, he notices that he feels sick and realizes that mini-arenas must have been climbing inside his body while he was sleeping on the job. That's why you don't sleep on the job, kids, because little robots will claw themselves into your stomach. As he attempts to head to the hospital, though, his body fails him and he falls to the floor, and a final mini-arena approaches him as he's laying there dying, asking if there's room for one more. Terrified, obviously, he screams, and then that mini-arena climbs into his goddamn mouth. What the hell, Scott? Or was this Andrea Wagner? Who wrote this one? You need a therapist, no matter what, okay? God. And ultimately, in at number 2, Mrs. Afton. While some theorize that Ballora is like a big sister to Circus Baby, which is definitely not true, others believe that the two have an even weirder relationship, that for some reason, they believe Ballora is actually meant to be Circus Baby's mom. Or rather, that the spirit within Ballora, which is supposed to give her consciousness and awareness, like the original animatronics, belongs to William Afton's wife, Elizabeth Afton's mother, Mrs. Afton, sometimes referred to as Clara Afton, which is not true, but it's a name given to her by fans after the character of Clara from The Immortal and the Restless, which is the soap opera featured in Sister Location. People believe that Clara, for some reason, from the show, is supposed to be the name of Mrs. Afton, and then Vlad is supposed to be William. But then again, Vlad isn't named William, so why would Clara be called Clara? I don't get it. It has yet to be confirmed, but some heavily believe that she also died in a car accident following the death and loss of the rest of her family, and then somehow her soul became trapped inside Ballora. But the idea of a car accident comes from a Living Tombstone song, and nothing to do in the actual FNAF series. So, don't know why y'all are so hard about that. Why are you so hard-headed about this? I don't understand. Finally, in at number 1, model of. Another theory, which definitely makes more sense given what information we have on the Afton family, or at least the Afton family dynamic, is that Ballora was created after the death of Mrs. Afton, and that it was simply modeled to be like her, or designed to be kind of representative of her. Maybe Mrs. Afton was a ballerina, Or maybe some people believe that Ballora was created to be a vessel for Mrs. Afton's soul, but because she died before the animatronic was made, she was unable to possess it. However, that's also impossible since Afton only learns about possession after Baby ends up getting possessed by Elizabeth. Afton built the Funtime robots as killbots, as evidenced by their abilities and secret storage tanks. So, yeah, the whole she was possessed thing has absolutely zero evidence because these are literally designed to come up to you and make you feel safe in order for them to snatch you like you're the last turkey on Thanksgiving weekend. So her being all motherly is just a ploy to literally kill you. The only one who's possessed is Baby, and that's why they showed us her getting possessed, and that's why they changed her eye color, okay? So that we know she's the only one that's possessed. So stop this nonsense. God! That's all the time we have for today, friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been in Shaw, Remain, God, Monroe, and I'll see you in another video.